Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Let's take a look at using annotations in Preview. So I'm using Preview version 7 here, and I'm going to show you how annotations work. If you have a PDF open and it's a normal PDF, not protected in any special way, you can select text and copy text from it. But you could also highlight text, and you have that up here in the toolbar. I could simply click the marker button here and it will highlight that text. Now you can also select a color, so you can change the color of the highlight. And the marker is kind of an on-off thing. You can turn it on and you can see it's blue now. And now I can actually highlight other text. And you see that it's highlighted. I don't have to press this again. So I can highlight any text I want like that. If I want to unhighlight text, I just select that a second time. So it's kind of like a tool where you can toggle the highlighting. You can also just have that turned off there, select text, assign it something, and now it's not doing it. This is not on, and I could select another color. So you can use the tool either way to highlight text in a PDF document. You can also, if you don't like doing colors, you can use Underline or Strikethrough, and these are all useful both for highlighting for calling your attention back to something in a document, but also for editing. If somebody sends you a PDF and expects you to proofread it for them, for instance, you can use these to mark things in the text for them to check out later, which makes the strike-through more obvious what you would use this for, to be able to show something you think would be deleted. But there are many more tools that you can use. You can click on this edit toolbar here and you have a lot of different things that you can do. For instance, you can add circles and rectangles and lines with arrows attached to them. You can add bits of text here, so you can have this text box float above something, and then we can add an arrow there like that. So there's a lot of things you can do with these tools up here. You can also add notes, which are the same thing as kind of adding text, except a note will collapse to a little postage stamp thing there. So you can kind of put this somewhere, and then the person looking at it can then click on it and read what you've got there. Now if you save this file and somebody else opens it up in Preview, they'll see all these annotations and they can edit them and change them themselves. So it's perfect for passing the proofreading back to somebody, and then they can remove the items as they take care of them. But if you want to make them permanent, like say you're actually marking something up and you want to now have it where it's not editable, you can export it as a PDF and it'll save a copy out with these highlights and arrows and bits of text and things permanently as part of the document. So we can just save here to the desktop, and then I can open this one, and you see here I've got that post-it note isn't even active anymore. I can't even click it because it's just a graphic on there, and all this stuff is just permanently part of the document, as opposed to this where I can actually change it if I want. So digging deeper into these tools, notice that if I click on the text box, I can do several different styles, including a speech bubble, which is kind of neat and has kind of a built-in arrow to it. And once I'm editing one of these, I can change lots of things about the font or even the line thickness of the bubble there. And you have other tools here as well. For instance, the line size for different elements like this arrow. I can make it thinner. I could make a two-headed arrow, that kind of thing. Whether or not there's a drop shadow, I could change its color, of course, and do all sorts of other things to it. So you have a wide variety of things that you can do when you're marking up a document. Now there is some cross-platform compatibility. Here I've got the file that I've saved out, and I can set it to open with Adobe Reader. And in Adobe Reader I've got all those annotations there, and they are editable. I can select them. I can change the text inside of the different things here. I can even see this note here and the content of it. So it's not perfect. I don't see the highlighting, but you can actually pass this document back and forth between somebody, say on a Windows machine who only has Adobe Reader or prefers to use Adobe Reader on the Mac. Now I can use most of the annotation tools with images as well. So I'm going to open up just a JPEG photograph here in Preview. And you see I obviously can't highlight anything because there's no text here, but I can turn all these tools and do things like, for instance, add some text, even a speech bubble, for instance. I can add an arrow and a circle to the image. Now this is a JPEG. It doesn't really have the same ability to have elements like text does. So if I save this out, what will happen is you can see the image updates, and that's a JPEG image. These things are now permanently on this image. I've still got the document open here, so I can still edit these, but as soon as I close it and then reopen it, you'll see that it no longer retains that information that these are separate elements, and now they're permanently on there. So you don't have quite the flexibility. You may want to save a copy out if you're doing this. Of course, you can use the browse all versions and revert to the previous version if you need to. So we'll go back to that one and restore it. But you can see the difference there between annotating a PDF, something with text and elements in it, and a JPEG, an image that's just a bitmap of pixels. Of course, this brings up another use of annotations, is you can use it to mark up photos. So for instance, just for fun effect, you could just add a speech bubble like this.